Let's do this. Hello? Great. Excuse me? You're a little early. The open house doesn't start until 9. I'll be more than happy to show you around. If you just give me 2 minutes. Good lighting.
My husband and I were in the market for a starter home. We thought the Bayou might be a great place to raise a family, away from the city, and it was in our price range. Hello? Jimmy? I saw the listing the morning it went online. There's something magical about that oak tree. And I wasn't surprised to learn that it was part of the town's historical record. Hope I'm not too early. I called the real estate agent and he assured us that we would be the first ones to look at the property. Never forget what I saw that day. Honey, you're late again. Where are you? This place is so charming. And the oak tree, it's even more beautiful than in the pictures. Hurry up, okay? I love you. Bye. I'm here for the open house.
I have come out here every morning since I was a child.
It's a beautiful place.
And I notice something new about it every day.
Are you ready? It's so peaceful.
Oh, here. Here it is.
Tell us about it.
These remains are from one of the first homes built on the North Shore. Now, all that's left from that time is old Luke here.
Look. The oak tree is preserved by the town's historical society. His name is Luke, L-U-C. I wonder how he got that name. Okay, so on action, I need you to state your name and what you do, okay?
Okay. My name
Action.
is
No. When I say action, state your name and what you do.
All right.
Action.
Well, my name is Millicent Rubidoux. I have lived in this town all my life, and I am the president of the local historical society. Where are you from, Hassan?
Well, I was born and raised in the Middle East, but I've been going to Miskatonic University in New England for the last 5 years.
You said you studied film, right?
Yes, I completed my bachelor in film, and this fall I'm gonna go for my grad program in film as well. I really would love to be a film director in Hollywood. Truth is, it's very competitive.
Well, you're great with the camera. I'm sure you have a bright future ahead of you.
Thank you. Now, how about you, Millicent? Rubidoux, that's French, correct?
Yes.
Back in the day, were there many Frenchmen in this area?
I told Byron I don't know anything about that French soldier. All right, that is not history. It is a legend.
Please don't go. I still have a few more questions for you.
You be careful, young man.
Millicent, please. Please.
Look, if you want to talk crazy stuff, you talk to Alma.
Alma. Dante, you were hired to paint the interiors of the house, correct?
That's right.
Do you remember who hired you?
I think he said his name was Thomas.
Hey, son. Sorry it took me a while to get back to you, but I've been crazy busy. Byron's book is coming out in less than 2 months, and we're in the middle of a huge marketing campaign. I think this book might set some sales records for us. Byron would have been proud. We're all still shaken up about what happened to him. Anyway, hold on. It's the art department. Hopefully they finally came up with a title that hasn't been copyrighted yet. I really need to take this one. Stand by, all right?
I just got done doing the living room and I got ready to do the touch-ups. Hello?
What happened then?
The voice.
Sorry about that, son. I've asked my assistant to hold on my calls. Let's see here. To answer your off-the-record question, yes, I suppose you could stay in Byron's house for a few days. We still have the lease for about 3 more months, and I'm pretty sure the police have closed their investigation. Okay, so to answer your first question, Byron was coming off of a couple novels that didn't hit home with our target demo. He had not written anything in about 6 months when he called me one day and said, I have an idea for a novel and it takes place in the South. Byron, he asked me to arrange him a Southern experience so he could retreat there and write in privacy. I have connections in Georgia, so I offered him a place in Savannah. No, he said he wanted to go back to his home state of Louisiana, but he wanted to stay away from the French Quarter and all the tourists. Byron never made my job easy. We made a few calls and found a few options on the lakefront, but Byron ended up with this quaint little house with a breathtaking live oak tree out of Gone with the Wind. And it was a steal too, very, very cheap lease. To answer your second question, no, I did not know about, I quote, the home's dark history of violence and murder.
Thomas, I'm glad I caught you. This place is perfect. Thank you.
Happy to hear you like it, Byron. Do you like what the real estate company did with the place?
You know Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Oh, did you get my gift basket?
Mediocre author found dead by sugar coma. That'd be quite the front page.
Only if you read stuff like the National Enquirer. Now, change the subject. How's that novel coming along?
I'm sure inspiration will come to me soon. Horror is in the air. Literally.
Well, you have 30 days until Halloween. That's plenty of time to get inspiration. Make sure you don't return to Los Angeles without a new bestseller, alright? Alright, can't wait to see what you come up with.
I'll try not to let you down. Goodbye.
Hi, are you Sam?
3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. It's the nicest neighborhood in town. With brand new kitchen counters, new kitchen cabinets, new appliances. I've got 15 minutes before my first client comes in.
That's all the time I need.
You said you wanted to ask me a few questions about Jimmy?
Right.
Shoot.
Your cousin Jimmy passed away a few months ago. How do you feel?
I mean, it's been hard. Me and Jimmy, we grew up together. We went to the same school. We hung out with the same people. We started this business from scratch 5 years ago.
Were you surprised by the circumstances of his passing? His suicide?
Yeah. I mean, he seemed happy to me. You never know, though. He had a rough childhood.
Can you elaborate on that?
Jimmy's mom died when he was a kid. She was a drug user. His dad became absent after that. We grew up with our grandmother. She was strict. But I mean, I guess that's why Jimmy always felt he had to prove himself.
What do you mean?
The place he was found dead, the house known as the Oak House, that place is known as the unsellable house in the real estate world. No agent would touch it, except for Jimmy.
Why is it unsellable?
It's, that must be the Martinez family, excuse me.
I did learn about the real estate agent's suicide, but there was no police record. In fact, it was the dead guy's cousin that leased the house to us. I told Byron about it when he expressed interest on that one house for a southern retreat. Do you know what Byron's response was? He said that story would likely serve him as inspiration. We all know how intense Byron was about his writing.
Today I'm going to be talking to some of the town locals about Byron Kane and the Lamarck family. I'm hoping that by speaking with these people, they can provide us with more insight about Byron and his life.
You know, I taught Byron in high school. Nice kid.
When did you realize he had talent for writing?
He always had a talent with his words. Too bad he didn't have much to say. You know, when the other kids were on the playground at recess, you could find Byron Lamarck, Kane on the stairway. You'd find him glued to his little pen and his little notebook.
Have you read any of his famous novels?
Oh yeah, I have them all at home. I even recorded his interview with Oprah. I was so proud. But you know, let me tell you something about Byron. You know, if you read his novels that he wrote as an adult, and you read his stories he wrote as a child, you could tell he was sad.
I knew Byron Kane when he was a kid.
How would you describe him?
Strange. Strange guy.
Strange is a polite word for crazy. All the Marks are crazy.
Could you elaborate on that?
I've lived in this town my whole life. I knew Byron's daddy, Duke. We grew up together.
Go on.
Well, one summer day when we were kids, we were all out playing in the bayou. All of a sudden, Duke just dropped to the ground, curling up like a bug in pain. And then he started hitting himself on the head with a rock. He was unconscious for hours, and everybody wanted to know what happened to him. When he finally woke up, he said he felt like something was drilling into his brain. People started calling him names after that.
You know, I remember one time he read one of his stories in front of the class, and the sadness was already there. I was sorry to hear he had taken his own life.
Me too. I think I have everything I need for now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, could you sign this talent release? It's just standard stuff. Here you go.
First time in the South?
That obvious, huh?
Well, you're not in Melton, so that's good.
I grew up in a place with similar weather.
I doubt it's as hot as Louisiana. The heat can kill you down here. And if not the heat, the wildlife can kill you.
I was a little scared because I read the place is infested with crocodiles, but I haven't seen any.
We don't have crocodiles in Louisiana.
Good to know.
We have alligators here. They're different than crocs. Here you go.
Thank you. Excuse me. Are you Alma?
Who wants to know?
The people from the Historical Society, they said I could speak to you about the town's legends and folktales.
They said that?
Yes.
They didn't feel that way about me when they fired me 30 years ago.
Go away, boy.
Alma, please. Please, I need to know about the French soldier.
Why? I've avoided this street all these years. Can you reach that branch?
I think so.
That's where the French soldier was hung.
Ugh.
He was a young kid, 15, 16 years old. It was a somber mood after the war. Anti-French sentiment was running strong in this town. The young soldier sought refuge here in this town. He begged for sanctuary on the doorstep of the big house that used to be right here on the Bayou. The lady at the house, she felt sympathy for him and took him in. But when her husband, a wealthy businessman from the city, when he came home, discovered the young soldier in his home, he decided to make an example out of him. They hung the soldier right here onto the old soaking town.
What was the name of the businessman?
His name was Anthony Lamarck.
Hello. Is this the home of Millicent Rubidoux? Hi, Mrs. Rubidoux. It's Byron Lamarck. I used to live in this town Yes, that's me. Well, that's my professional name. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm glad you liked it. It was my first novel, and it means a lot to me. Yes, I'll be happy to sign your copy of my novel. I'll ship my entire collection to your home autographed. Yes, I know my other novels are a bit grim. I'm actually calling because... Listen, Mrs. Of course, Millicent. Listen, I'm wondering if I could take you out for a cup of coffee. I'm doing research about my family tree, and I thought, who could be better to assist me with this new project I'm working on than the president of the town's historical society? Thank you. Tomorrow morning's fine. Would you text me the details? Much obliged.
Of course I knew Byron was originally from Louisiana, but he never mentioned what part of the state he grew up in. And regarding your question, no, I didn't know about the connection between Byron and, I quote, the Oak House. I only knew Byron by his pen name. I didn't find out about his real last name until after he died. To me, and his millions of fans, he will always be Byron Kane.
Byron wasn't the most outgoing, but he was a good kid. He had the most vivid imagination. I think he got that from my sister.
Did Byron's mom write too?
She always said she wanted to, but it was one of those things that people always say they're gonna do, but never start doing.
I understand there were problems between Byron and his parents.
They loved Byron very much, and they would have preferred to keep him close to them. They thought he would go to Baton Rouge for college, and then he accepted that scholarship from that fancy school in New England.
Miskatonic University.
He missed that first Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and another Thanksgiving. But I think my sister was proud of Byron for pursuing his dreams. Duke and she were very protective of him. Duke always acted like he thought something awful was going to happen to Byron. I think that's part of the reason why Byron chose to pursue his life away from this place. To be free, to escape.
I need to make the voices in my head stop, the lonely man said to himself, pulling the trigger and ending his suffering once and for all. No, a gunshot is way too cliche.
Is that your first time in New Orleans?
That's right.
You're staying way out in the bayou, though.
Yes, I am.
You want any swamp tours out there or anything?
I guess you could say that.
Seen any gators yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm in New Orleans right now, and I'm about to meet with Byron's cousin. Her name is Eliza, and she'll hopefully have more information for us.
Hi! You must be Hussein.
Hassan, actually.
Sorry I'm late. I just got out of my yoga class.
Not a problem. Thank you for your help.
Okay. Do I look okay?
You look ready for your close-up, Miss Lamarck.
Soon to be Mrs. John Amon II.
Describe your relationship to author Byron Kane, also known as Byron Lamarck.
He was my cousin. Poor Byron. He was such a talented kid.
When was the last time you remember seeing him?
It had to have been right after he dropped out of college. You know, his parents worked day and night to pay for his school, and they had a hissy fit when Byron said he was going to be a writer. You know, I think that's why he changed his last name. It must have been a bad fight because Byron was a no-show at both his parents' funerals. I remember telling Byron that my Johnny could get him a job at the firm, but I don't know why he couldn't pick a respectable job, like a lawyer or even a dentist. No offense.
None taken. Thank you. This is a very nice neighborhood.
Yes. It's so different from the Bayou where I grew up.
Do you ever miss it there?
Are you kidding? I have a doting fiance, a beautiful home, and I drive a new car. I mean, I live in the most beautiful city in the whole world. I broke the curse.
What curse?
I really gotta be going now, okay? Bye.
Well, can you wait for a second? Eliza. Hi. I'm looking for Eliza. Is she available? My name is Hassan. I was a friend of her cousin Byron. We spoke a few days ago. When? No. No. I am so sorry for your loss. No, please forget I call you. Thank you. Thanks. I was on the phone with Eliza Lamarck's fiance. Apparently, right after our meeting in New Orleans, she was struck by the St. Charles streetcar. She's dead. Alma,
You again? What do you want?
I need to speak to you about the Lamarcks.
I gave you the book about the Lamarck family. Everything you need to know is in there. I've been having nightmares ever since I talked to you. I'm not saying another word.
Yes, but you didn't say anything about the Lamarck curse. You knew Byron was staying at the Oak House. You could have warned him. No, you could have saved him.
Stop!
Because of your silence, people have died. Byron is dead, and now Eliza is dead too.
Who's Eliza?
Please, tell me what you know.
The history books will tell you about the great Lamarck family, and they fall from grace, but only the locals can tell you what truly happened behind closed doors.
Go on.
My family worked in the Lamarck household. My ancestor, Josephine, was the lady's maid and confidant. The night the French soldier showed up at the house, Josephine was there, and she witnessed the
What?
the sin committed by the lady and the French soldier.
So that's why the French soldier was hanged.
The soldier was doomed ever since he landed on the doorstep. But Mr. Lamarck never found out about the affair. Soon after the soldier was killed, bad things started to happen in the family. Even the arrival of the baby didn't change anything. That's when the curse began.
The baby. You mean the youngest child, Theodore Lamarck, right? Who is the father? Can I help you?
You must be Hassan.
Yes, I don't believe we've met.
People were talking about you at Eliza's funeral. They said you met with her the day she died.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I apologize. I don't mean to be intrusive. I'm Theo Lamarck. I need to speak with you about the curse. With Byron and Eliza gone, I'm only Lamarck left in our generation.
Everybody else is.
Dead? Yes. Now it's up to me to continue the Lamarck name.
You said you wanted to speak to me about the curse.
Do you believe in it? At the funeral, some of my most superstitious relatives were asking themselves, why was Eliza taken now? Why now? Why not a year ago or the year before that? None of the Lamarck deaths have been alike, and none of the survivors of the curse had anything in common but their surnames. Makes you a bit paranoid. Am I next?
What if the curse can only affect those who truly belong to the Lamarck family?
What do you mean?
According to my research, all members of the Lamarck family tree either belong to the two sisters branches or the youngest son, Theodore Lamarck. That's you.
So?
So, the locals believe that Theodore was actually not Anthony Lamarck's child. They think the French soldier was his father.
That's ridiculous. The French soldier is just a swamp legend they tell out there.
But what if the French soldier was real? You being here now, it's proof enough of your immunity to the curse.
We don't know that yet.
How old is your father?
He's 50-something.
Is your grandfather alive? Is your grandfather alive? Is he alive?
Yes, he's in his 80s.
Exactly. All descendants of Theodore Lamarck are immune to the curse because the French soldier is their true ancestor. It's okay. You will live. The curse is dead and nobody else has to die. The French soldier can finally rest in peace, Theo. I better tell Alma.
Wait a minute. What about the others? The other Lamarck bastards? You seriously don't think a man like Anthony Lamarck only fathered 2 or 3 children, do you?
You want to see me, Hassan? I have better things to do with my evening.
This is important, Sam.
You know you're staying at the place where my cousin died, right? It's kind of creepy, dude.
I know. But I actually want to talk to you about Jimmy and your connection to the Lamarck family.
Any talk about the Lamarcks was forbidden at home by our grandmother. She didn't want us bastards to know about the so-called curse. Well, people in this town, they talk. They always talk. Poor Jimmy, I mean, I guess he was trying to fight the curse, and that's why he took the listing in the first place.
I'm sorry.
If what you're saying is true, I guess the ghost of the French soldier is coming after me next.
No, it doesn't have to be like that. We need to find a way to stop the curse.
It's already in my head, Hassan. Literally.
Come on, let's go online, and I'm sure we can find some way.
You know what? I'll grab me a beer, and I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for all your help, kid. Sorry it was all in vain.
Confronted by the prospect of his imminent extinction, the lonely man arrived at a stunning conclusion. If you can't beat them, join them, he thought to himself, allowing a peaceful grin to escape out of his lips. The end. Bam.
Hey Hassan, I got all your messages. Are you alright? You sounded a bit exasperated. I can't believe you're in Louisiana. I thought you were gonna spend the summer with your parents back home. My cousin told me about Byron Kane. God, such a sad story. I really hope that you're staying safe. Anyway, I did what you asked me to do, and I just spent the entire day at the Miskatonic University Library. Let me tell you that place has a bigger section on supernatural than American history. I was able to find some really interesting Victorian tales about witchcraft and spells, but I wasn't able to find anything about swamp curses or how to break them. I'm sorry. Let me know if you need my help with anything else.
I shouldn't be here. This place is plagued with negative energy.
Would you relax, please? According to my research, the only bad juju in this place is me.
What do you mean?
Here, hold these. Come on.
I ain't really too good with technology.
Just point it at me, I'll show you. Okay, you got it? Is it rolling?
Yes, Roland, you can go.
Everybody associates the curse with the Oak House, this place, correct?
No.
But this house was built decades after the original Lamarck house was torn down to the ground. Yes, Byron and Jimmy the realtor died in here, but that was just their timing. Eliza, Byron's cousin, she died in New Orleans. In fact, most members of the Lamarck family died away from the Bayou.
I think that's where you might say, go on.
Oh, the painter who was spared. He was scared of something supernatural here. But that something supernatural is definitely not clinging to these walls.
To what then?
Come, I'll show you.
And now you think the tree is cursed.
I think this old hanging oak has trapped the soul behind the Lamarck curse. And we have to burn it to the ground.
No. Don't even say that. This tree's a landmark.
Jeez, Alma, I'm just kidding.
Well, good.
I've been asking you lots of questions about the Lamarck family, but I wasn't asking the right question.
I told you everything I know.
What was the name of the French soldier?
I don't know that.
See, I think you do. I wanted to make amends before I head back to college, so I asked Millicent to have a cup of coffee with me.
That woman, Alma, when she was in the Historical Society, all she did was talk about preserving that old tree. I mean, on and on. Preserve the tree, honor the tree, name the tree.
What do you think she cares so much about it?
Darling, I have no idea. She is not the sharpest tool in the shed. She has always cared more about these crazy folk tales and that old tree than the true history of this town.
You can't believe anything Millicent says. Millicent's always hated me. Everybody in this town's always been against me.
Yes, I thought she might be gossiping about you. But then I did some quick research about your own family tree, and it revealed very interesting details about your ancestor Josephine, the lady's maid. She was never married, but she had one child. It must have been a scandal to be a single mother then.
Josephine was loyal to her lady, but she fell in love with the French soldier. The lady of the house wanted to keep the French soldier for her own entertainment. And when he wanted to leave and marry Josephine, his true love, the lady of the house set him up. Josephine was already pregnant with his child when he was hanged.
I truly wish you had shared that with me before.
I was embarrassed. Story of my life. I didn't want to be ashamed of my past anymore. I wanted to honor my past. But I couldn't tell anybody the truth. So I joined the Historical Society and eventually became their president. Years before that Millicent even showed up. That's why we named this tree after him. The soldier. The soldier's name was Luke.
I thought Byron was a respectable young Southern man when I first met him. But then he quickly got on my nerves. All he wanted to do was talk about the Lamarck family and that young soldier that they had hanged from that tree.
Millicent, it's Byron Kane. Again, I know I've called you so many times today, but I really need to speak with you about the young man who was hanged under the oak tree. I've done my research and I know this property belonged to my family at some point, and I would really like to get more information from you. Call me back as soon as you can. Thank you. Are you sure there is no way that anyone in your office could have made a copy of the house key? Maybe one of your employees is my fan. I won't be mad if somebody wanted to play a Halloween prank. I found it very funny, really. Okay, I understand. No, I believe you. Thank you, Sam. This is where you want, isn't it? Thomas, I've attached the final draft of my novel, along with this video message. I think you're gonna like it. I think my fans are gonna like it. And I think Mom and Dad would have liked it too. I know you may have some follow-up questions for me after you read it, and you may suggest a revision or two, but this is it. Unfortunately, I won't be available to deliver a revised draft.
Hassan? Hey, buddy. Changed my mind. Think we can fight this.
Not today, you heard me? I'm not afraid of you.
What are you doing here? Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Everything will be okay.
Things are not okay, Hassan. I have to say I'm very, very disappointed in the results of this report you emailed me. And the crazy words you're putting in Byron's mouth, that is not the Byron we knew.
My father spoke to me about the Lamar curse when I was a teen. He warned me about the voices. And he apologized to me for bringing me into this world knowing what would happen to both of us. He said there was nothing we could do about it. I thought he was crazy. I called him a coward. I hated him for saying we couldn't change our destiny. After writing for many years in college, secretly researching ways to fight my family curse, I decided to embrace it. It's when I landed my first book deal. I finally realized my father was not at fault. We are who we are, cursed or not. That's why I'm choosing to confront the voices in my head. My body can't escape from them, but I can defeat them in my work, in my writing. This novel is the one fight I can win against the curse.
I suppose by now you received the document our lawyer drafted in relation to this issue. To protect Byron's memory, I hope you understand why this so-called paranormal investigation of yours must never go public. I don't think we'll speak again, but I certainly wish you well, young man.
I knew Louisiana would inspire me. I'm happy I came here to write. And I was right. Horror is in the air out here. Let me tell you, the most difficult part of this experience was choosing a title for my novel. I thought about it. But at the end of the day, the name of the story is not important. All that matters is what's written on the page. I think I left a good impression. This was the story I wanted to share.
I've been researching online for ways to fight the curse, but I haven't been able to find anything solid yet. I'm sorry.
Son, we have to fight this.
What made you change your mind?
I've been seeing this girl in the city. She's pregnant. I want to be a father.
Three, two. I have failed. I have failed. I have not been able to prove or disprove the existence of the curse. I don't know what's going to happen to Sam or when. I can only hope, Byron. I can only hope he found the peace he wanted. I hope I can inspire people the same way. Anyway, I'm back at Miskatonic University and my master's program is about to begin. The future is exciting and bright. And I think I'm going to do Mom. I have to take this call.